Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Women in Big Data. Thank you all for coming. Yes, thank you. But you know, we got to really get started soon. So if you can please grab your lunch quickly and come back to the seats. We are actually 5 minutes behind schedule. You will really miss all the inspiring talks. So how do we do this? Should we just get started on the talks? What do you think, Zia? While people are grabbing lunch, or should we just wait for a few minutes? It doesn't look like the lunch. It doesn't move. Okay, so I have been advised to get started with the talks because the lunch line, I believe, apparently is not going to move fast enough. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. Good afternoon, folks. We'll get started, and please try to grab as quickly as possible and come get seated, and you can always go back again. Thank you all for coming today. Welcome to the Women in Big Data. My name is Soumya Gupta. I am a marketing manager in the Intel Software and Services Group. How many of you, before we get started on this agenda, right, just wanted to find out, how many of you have never heard about Women in Big Data or, not members? Oh, okay, quite a few. So we are going to work on this, right? You're all going to become members afterwards, right? Okay, great. All right, so, for the next, let's see how we are going to spend the next hour and a half. I want to just give an introduction to Women in Big Data, who we are and why we really started this initiative, what motivated us to start. And then we are going to have a very inspiring talk from Zia Ma, who is the Vice President and the Director of Big Data Technologies at Intel Software and Services Group. She's going to tell us, and she's also one of the founding members, she's going to talk to us about, her journey in the big data and analytics. And then we are going to have this amazing panel discussion, making the best out of, fast-paced data world with all these industry experts from IBM, Intel, Netflix, and, this CEO of 8path Solutions. So we are going to, stay tuned for that. And now, so let me get started. I just wanted to, before we get started on the data, we are in the data here, Spark Summit. So before we get started, yeah, I really like this quote from, Robert Noyce, our founder, AI is in its infancy. It's very true. This was, done a long time ago. But, the upcoming AI models such as machine learning and deep learning, they need large amounts of data for compilation and analysis. So really, big data continues to be a great opportunity for us to focus, for women to focus in their career opportunities, right? So now let's look at some data as to how we really got started with this. When we look at our own company, when we started looking back at the women engineers were very few. And so we looked at it, we thought, this was a couple of years ago. And it's still not improved much. It's improved definitely, but not too much. When we look at the data, actually, when we started analyzing the data, when the girls, when they are little young girls, right, equally girls and boys are interested in science. And I have, twin girls, who are 11-year-olds, and they love science, but then the data really scares me. And then fast forward a few more years, when they get to the teenage years, that number really drops down to, half. 26% or so, and then come next few more years, there are very few engineers going into computer science, and then actually when women get employed in the engineering jobs, it's only 12%, which is sad. And then come middle age, right? That number drops even further down to 50%. So, and then today there are less than 6% of the CEO women in the world. So we got to really work on this, right? We got to get this gender equality. We need to work on that. So what we did was we started 3 people in a small conference room at Intel. We started talking about, okay, we got to do something about this diversity and get these women inspired and stick on to the jobs and have that retention. So a small conversation, then we talked about, then we thought, okay, we should do something, come up with some diversity initiative. And we started this, very first meetup. We, talked to a few other, companies like Cloudera and IBM. And, we started with a small meetup, our very first meetup in Bay Area, a couple of years ago in 2015 with just 15 people. And now today we are more than 2,000 members in our LinkedIn. And we have several industry sponsors, more than 10 sponsors, and we have done lots of trainings and we've helped women and really we are all volunteers working on this. And there are several meetup groups and there are a lot of chapters and more than 1,500 meetup members. So, our goal is really, we know all these, is not going to fix in a day or two, right? We got to work towards this. All of us have to help each other and help ourselves, right? So what we want to, our goal is really to inspire, connect, and grow women membership. And we want to, leverage each other, help each other out, and, get that gender parity, get that gender equality, get that numbers up. We want to work and leverage each other. So that's what our goal is. And where we want to really go is we want to get this representation of women by 25% at least, to 25% by 2020. That's our goal. So. The way we are structured, we are organized in few different committees. We have an evangelism committee, and we have several members here. We have a networking committee. I lead the networking committee. I'm also one of the founding members. We create, as part of this committee, we create a platform for women, such as this events. We help women to come, socialize, have a platform, network with each other. Networking is a big aspect, right? We also do a lot of trainings, technical trainings, soft skill trainings. We do a lot of those trainings, all-day trainings. Several, of our sponsors also have, done all-day trainings. We also do mentorship. That's the committee that does, match up, pair mentors. A lot of our members are here. They can, talk. Radhika is right here. She's our West Coast director, Radhika. And Yulia is here. Look for people with scarves. Actually, I do have my scarf, but I was told to remove it because of the microphone. Yulia is, our training committee lead, as well as, actually, she's in all committees, right? I mean, Yulia, you do everything. So talk to them and get more information. I see Nazanin from networking committee, and I also see Bhakti from the Northwest chapter. We have several chapters. We have East Coast chapter. We have a Midwest chapter we started. We have Europe chapter in Europe. We also have West Coast chapter. Of course, that's where we originally started. And now we also have satellites. So we have a Northwest satellite. I also lead that. That's covering Portland and Seattle areas, and I think we have a few other chapters in progress. So this is just some of the events that we have done. We've done a lot of events. That's our very first training at Cloudera. As you can see, we had 50 to 55 women sat through all day long. These are like really technical Hadoop training that Radhika actually did this in the very first this was more than a year ago. I mean, you were from the training committee. And then we have done lots of, meetups in Strata Hadoop and Hadoop World and, several other events. We've done like more than 20, 25 events so far, and we've brought very inspiring speakers. Okay, so you want to learn more? Please visit our website, womeninbigdata.org. you can learn more. And there are thanks to all our great sponsors. And now I just want to, play this one for you. Ooh, if I can get this.
Big data is changing the world around us. Today, much of what we do, see, touch, and experience generates data. Collecting and correlating.
Click on the.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not showing.
Second display. That one.
Big data is changing the world around us. Today, much of what we do, see, touch, and experience generates data. Collecting and correlating these huge data sets helps us extract brand new, valuable insights. Big data helps us make better decisions, work more efficiently, reduce costs and risk, and predict the future. Anya uses big data to analyze traffic patterns so her city can get people in and out of concerts, games, and other events quickly and safely. Ria uses big data to track shoe style trends on social media so that manufacturers can plan ahead, saving cost and resources, reducing waste, and better meeting customer demand. Lakshmi uses big data to analyze genomics, contributing to new methods to defeat deadly diseases. Lee uses big data to keep track of whale migrations to protect endangered species and to help researchers learn more about these magnificent animals. And Marta uses the power of big data to rigorously analyze human rights violations around the world and to help protect the most vulnerable in areas of conflict. But, like many technical fields, big data presents a number of hurdles for women. Big data is a male-dominated area where women are a distinct minority. Too often, women are not encouraged to pursue the technical classes and degrees needed for fulfilling careers in big data. Plus, too many companies just don't get that they can be more successful and profitable when gender diversity is a priority. The Women in Big Data Forum is out to change how big data gets done and who does it. We're a collection of women working hard to address the shortage of females in the big data workforce. We work for industry leaders in big data, and our goals are to inspire, to connect, to grow, to champion the success of women in big data, and to increase women's representation in big data to at least 25% by 2020. Join us and help make a difference. Visit www.womeninbigdata.org to learn more.
My slides. All right. You like the video? Okay. So who's going to become our members today? All right. So please join us. You can become a member today or any other day. Here are the links. If you want to become a sponsor, that's even more fantastic. And now I would like to introduce Zia Ma, our VP and Director of Big Data Technologies from Intel. Thank you, Zia.
Okay, great. Thanks, Soumya. So you can all hear me? I'm impressed by the crowd. You know, I'm part of the Spark Summit almost every time, and it's exciting to see this forum gets bigger and bigger each time. I hope you're enjoying the event like I am. I was talking with Soumya just earlier this week, and she asked me to come here and spend a couple of minutes to share my journey for big data and analytics. I think I'm one of the lucky ones who started the journey much earlier than many people in the industry. When it first started, you know, the challenge the industry was facing was that volume, the variety, and the velocity of the data was growing so fast that the traditional data management systems were no longer adequate. So Apache Hadoop emerged as the revolutionary data storage solution that's more dynamic, cost-effective, and efficient. And with Hadoop getting widely adopted, folks started looking for more performant data processing capability. So Spark came into the place. And Spark works in memory and speeds up data processing tremendously over MapReduce. And more importantly, Spark allows for a more flexible data analytics pipeline construction. The wave of analytics came afterwards. Actually, analytics had been around for a long while. It's not until the very recent years the value of analytics were realized in the business field. And especially as the data processing and the data storage technologies get revolutionized, organizations had means to sift through large volume of data quickly and derive business insights and drive business differentiation. And the volume of the data keeps growing. So analytics applications need to analyze more data, extract more data representations, and inference patterns. So this is where AI can help address the needs, and thus becomes the next wave. So we're right in the middle of this AI revolution. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time, actually to talk about AI evolution. You know, if you look at today's AI industry, you have to agree with what Soumya shared earlier, that we are still in early infancy for AI. You know, you look around, you feel sorry for the AI engineers or developers. You know, they not only have to know hardware integration details, they also have to learn very low-level programming languages like MPI, OpenCL, or CUDA. So the real time spent on value-added AI development is very limited. So Intel and our overall industry are working towards a bigger vision, which is to provide an end-to-end, from software to hardware, an easy-to-use, a complete, a performant, and a productive environment for AI developers and industry, so that the engineers can focus on real value-added deep learning, machine learning, training, and deployment with great productivity. And more importantly, our ultimate goal is to democratize technologies for AI so that everyone, every company, every individual can enjoy the evolution of our technologies. So I'm always amazed and humbled actually by the progress from women in big data. And this team has put a tremendous amount of effort to organize meetups, networking sessions, training sessions, reach out to broader women community, connect them, and motivate them to join this hottest, newest, and most rewarding field. So I'm always grateful to be part of this event, and I wish you enjoy the rest of it. Thank you.